Hello everyone, this is Creatrix and Annika, and we are here to do BJD Addicts Prompt number 2, which is what are your big fears in the hobby? So I'm really new to the hobby, so I have a lot of fears actually, so I went and wrote them out, and I'm probably missing a bunch, but I think I have like 7 right now, and I think that's enough, so we'll just hop right into it. Okay, so my first big fear is breaking my doll, which I think is everyone's fear. I just have like, I don't know, images of her just like tumbling and just like scratching or breaking. I'm afraid of breaking off joints. I have like this awful like nightmare of like having like stuff on my hands. Like I paint a lot. I'm afraid I'm going to forget to wash my hands and then I'm going to touch her and just get like green or something all over her. So yeah, it's that's like my biggest worry. It's just like destroying a doll just like out of like carelessness. I just think that would be horrible. So yeah, that's my biggest fear. My second fear is like really messing up a face up, which is kind of in the same vein. It's just like messing up a face up so badly that you can't fix it, and now you just have this doll with an awful face up, and you can't sell it because no one wants to buy it, and you don't want to use it because it's just so horrible. So that's another big fear of mine that I'm currently kind of like, not like living, but like it's on the brink of living because I'm currently working on my first face up on my fox doll. And I'm just like, please don't screw up, please don't screw up, because I really want to sell this fox doll, so I know I'm taking a gamble by doing my first face up on her, but I thought it would be a good time to practice since I don't plan on getting any new dolls anytime soon. So yeah, that's another big fear. Let's see, I'm looking at my computer by the way, so number 3, a big fear is not being able to pay off a doll that I put on layaway. I mean, I consider myself pretty responsible with my money, so I don't think that's something that would happen, but I do have like a fear that I'm going to like order some doll, put her on layaway, and then something's going to happen where I can't pay for her. I think that would be pretty terrifying, because I don't know, I like to be in control of my funds at all time, and so for something like that to happen, it's just like, it's just really bad, like even outside of the hobby. So that's another fear. Fear number 4 is feeling guilty about buying my dolls. Which I know that sounds like a weird like fear, but it's something that I'm worried about, because if I ever feel guilty about like spending my money on these dolls, it would totally destroy the whole hobby for me. So it's something, yeah, that I really try to keep at bay, because I know, like, I'm not saying my family is completely unsupportive of the hobby. They were very skeptical when I first started collecting Monster High dolls. So I expected them to be like really skeptical about the BJDs, but they actually are handling the whole BJD thing better than the Monster High dolls. I don't know if they're just like not surprised by anything anymore, but they are definitely taking it much better. But I still worry though that one day my mom's gonna find out how much I spend on these dolls and stuff, and she's gonna be like, well, that money could go towards this or that. Like, I'm saving up for a trip to Norway, so like the last thing I want to hear is like, oh, that money could have gone to your Norway trip. Because like it's like that kind of stuff that could certainly make me feel guilty about buying dolls, and it would just destroy like all the joy of this hobby would just be sucked out of me, because I'd be like, oh, I feel so guilty about, you know, spending money on this stuff, and like, I don't know, I think it would just turn it into a hobby about love and like doing things that's really enjoyable for you, into like a hobby like where it feels like a mistake. So I'm really fearful of that. It's something I'm going to be, I think I'll be less fearful of in the future, the more I become comfortable being a doll collector, and the more my family just kind of starts to accept it. But right now it's something that's always kind of in the back of my mind. Alright, number 5, I think is another common one, which is unstringing my doll and then not being able to restring her. I mean, I think that's one of those fears that goes away like as soon as you do it, like the first time and get it over with, but it's, definitely a fear right now for me, especially since I kind of need to hot glue suede her. I mean, most of her joints are good, but where I'm having issues is her hips. She does not like to stand. Let's see if I can get her to do it, but like I'll stand her up, and she's doing it already, and try to put her hips back. So she'll stand, and she'll just, like, those legs will just come up. And it was funny because I was putting her in a box last night, just to keep her safe, and so she was lying down, and suddenly she just shot right up because she's like, no, I don't want to lie down. So I need to fix that. So that's something that's coming up in the future. So hopefully that fear won't be a fear anymore once I finally just go ahead and unstring her and restring her. Alright, fear number 6 is falling out of love with my dolls. Like, I mean, I know it's something that could happen. I mean, I'm planning to live a long life, and who knows, somewhere within like those decades of living I might decide that dolls aren't for me anymore, but it just, I don't know, it just makes me sad, thinking about that happening. Also, I guess falling out of love with a doll, like, that I just, like, bought, like I order it, really love it, and then it gets here and I don't like it. That's also kind of something upsetting, and I know it happens, and you just have to be prepared for that, but, I don't know, it just makes me sad thinking that there might be a day where I decide that I don't like Annika anymore and then want to sell her. And then that's also kind of a fear, like, the selling part, like, I'm afraid that, like, what if I get a doll, I really don't love it, I spend all this money on this doll, and then I can't sell her? Like, that would also really kind of suck, so, but hopefully that doesn't happen. So I'm gonna remain positive in that area. Alright, and my final fear, I'm really afraid that the BJD community will, like, not saying like the whole community, but like a group in the community might suddenly decide that I am not a good BJD collector, or I'm not a good hobbyist. I know there's a lot of drama in this community, and I'm nervous that I might one day be on the wrong end of it or something like that, you know, where people will be posting nasty comments all the time, sending me mean messages, writing nasty, like, confession posts about me. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too highly of myself that I'm gonna become, like, well known enough for people to have, like, a beef with me. But it is something, though, that worries me. And I know that the community is great and you have some really great people, but we all have to be honest and admit that there's also some really not so great parts about this community that can sometimes be really loud and can drive people out of the hobby. I know that has happened to Lordy. She left because of the drama, and it makes me worried. I don't want that to happen to me. So, but hopefully it won't, or if it does, hopefully there'll be more good than the bad. So, but yeah. So those are my 7, okay, maybe 8 if you want to count the not being able to sell my BJD as a fear. But those are my fears. And that ends this prompt. I'm now probably going to do the rest of the prompts out of order, because I think the next prompt is funny things that have happened in the hobby. And I've been in the hobby for all of 2 days, so I really don't have any funny stories. So, like, there's a lot of questions like that where I feel like I need to have more time in this hobby before I can answer them. Like, questions such as, I know, I think the 5th one or the 4th one is your BJD workspace, which right now, that's my dining room table, which I have to clear off every single night. So it's not really a workspace, it's just what I have right now. So that's also one I feel like I couldn't really do. So I'll do the ones I can, and then by the time I get all those done, I'll do the ones that I wasn't able to do right now and stuff. Alright, and now before I go, I have a little celebration I want to do. So let me put Annika over here so I don't hurt her. Because I got my first subscriber today, and that made me really excited because I've never had subscribers before on YouTube ever. So I want to celebrate and send a shout out to that wonderful subscriber. So thank you, Gina is Artie, for subscribing to my channel, and I'm going to celebrate by throwing glitter in the air. But I don't want to clean up that mess, so I'm going to throw the glitter already in their containers. So here we go. I'm going to hurt myself. Hold on. Let me back up. Okay. And, okay. There we go. That was our celebration. Once again, thank you, Gina's Artie, for being my first ever subscriber ever. You are awesome. And thank you to everyone else who continues to subscribe to my channel. That makes me really excited, and I would throw glitter for every single one of you, but I think either I'm going to end up knocking myself out, or I'm going to knock Annika out, and my first fear will come true. Or my glitter bottles will break, and then that kind of defeats the point of throwing them in the bottles in the first place. So, but yeah, woohoo! This second prompt is done, and this channel is well on its way. So I look forward to seeing you guys some more and talking to you guys, and yeah, alright, have a good night.